Talking about my goal that I set in 2020, so this year, about reading 100 books for the year. Yes, we are talking about it today. I know y'all think I'm just this throat, but anywho, like I said, that's what we're gonna be talking about on this Friday, our live at 5. So if you're not following me, go ahead and follow me on all platforms. So on my Instagram, it is CiaraArielle. On my YouTube, it is CiaraArielle. On my Facebook, it is Ciara Lindon. All of those things apply. Follow me, subscribe, comment, like, share this video. However you would like to support me, I'm super thankful for you. So let's get right into it. So like I said before, one of the goals that I set this year was to read 100 books. And a lot of times that I mentioned that to other people, they're like, girl, how you gonna do that? You gonna read 100 chapter books? You gonna read 100 what kind of books and all this other stuff? So when I originally set the goal, that was one thing that I did not think about. I didn't think about if I want to read chapter books, if I wanted to read this type of book or whatever. I just knew that I wanted to step out of my comfort zone, for one, and for two, to be able to do things that I've always longed to do and just never knew how to do it. So that was one of the goals that I did set. So what inspired me and also challenged me and also made me like a little competitive, like just a tad competitive, is that I had recently just read a story about a young lady who read 300 to 400 books in a year. Okay, when I say young, she was 8. So me being 27, 100 books, I can handle that. And so with that mindset, that's how I tackled reading my first book, and then my second book, and then my third book. I'm not going to continue because there is something I want you all to do. There's a challenge I want y'all to do before the end of this video. But for now, that's how I started this. So it was not only a thing of to be competitive, but it was also something that I chose to do to beat my own insecurity of not wanting to read or didn't have a like to read attitude. And so now that I'm so many books in, because I can't tell you how many books I'm in just yet, I'm learning that I love to do it. But also too, I think my goal and the way I'm reaching it has changed over these past few months, and that's the part I wanted to share with you all. So there are a few things that I'm going to share, but right here, smack dab in the middle of this video, I'm going to say, go ahead and guess how many books I've read. Comment below, and also drop your Cash App, because whoever wins will receive a little token from me. So yeah, and so one of the things that I'm noticing is that the first thing, if I could say, when you set a goal to read a book, is that you figure out first, the first thing you need to figure out is, what do you like? What kind of books do you like? Do you like science fiction? Do you like journals? Do you like articles? Do you like novels? Do you like chapter books? Like a chapter book and a novel, like two different things. Chapter book is more so like our 8 to 12-year-olds. Novels are things that you and I would read as an adult. And so, do you like series? Are you a magazine reader? You know, it doesn't matter what you're reading. It's your interest in reading it, and if you're equipping yourself for whatever you're into, like whatever you're reading. So that's number one. Like, figure out what you like. Second, based on your answer, start looking for those type of books. You could definitely type it in on Google or Bing, whichever platform that you use, and look up like mystery books, for instance. I thought I was a mystery book lover, But I'm learning something totally different about my aura and how I like to read my books. It's so different, and I find interest in other things other than what I thought I had an interest in. So next, another thing that you should think about is if you like to sit and read, or do you like to move and read? There's a difference in each one of those. So if you're a listener, then there's also the Audible books link, but also if you have an iPhone, you have your iBooks. If you have a library card, Overdrive, you're able to check out books just like you would if you was go directly to the library. So as long as you have a library card, you are able to check out books, whether they're audio, whether it's the regular physical book, or if it's on your phone, like your ebooks. You can find all of that on Overdrive. You can download the app, or you can just go to the website on your laptop or whatever and pull it up that way. But you have to have a library card, and it has to be current, or it will not work. Telling you what I know, not what I heard. But so those are some of the platforms that you can use in order to read books. And so once you figure out what works for you, then it's better for you to be able to effectively read in the way that you need to. And so with all of that being said, it's just a few books that I would like to point out, and some of the pointers that I have for either if you pick up a book and read it physically yourself, if you pick up a book and it's in your ears, or if you like both. And I'm just going off a preference of what I do. So one of the books that, my first book I can say about that is I read Tiffany Haddish's book, The Last Black Unicorn. I had the audio book and I had the physical book. I actually like that combination better because I'm able to not only physically see the words and how they were written, because I am a writer at heart and I am an author at heart. So I want to see how people structure their books and different word verbiage that they use. I'm able to effectively see that. But also too, with the audiobooks, I love them because I love the ones more of the author actually reading the book, because not only do you get the voice of that person, but you also get like the little bits that are not in the book in the audio. And so some things that may not be in the book will be in the audio, and you get a full understanding of who this person is and how they operate on a different level, and it's more personable to you because you're hearing someone else's story. And so that requires active listening. So like the first time I read that particular book, I made sure that I cut out time in my day to actually sit down and read. Now, the next book that I read was called Un-F Yourself. That was a book that kind of speaks to our mind, and it's supposed to be something that transforms our mind or makes us think about how we think and how we exude energy, whether it's positive or negative, through what we say and how we think about ourselves. And so that particular book, I was able to just listen to it. And sometimes I will pull out my phone and make notes in my phone and things of that nature. And that worked for me because that kind of book, you don't necessarily need to see how it was written, or you don't need to see words on paper type thing. It's kind of like a mental thing. So that was like a mental book for me that I listened to when I was working out or washing dishes or folding clothes or right before I go to bed. That book, that's how that one is. And so my physical book that I read with no audio was Clayton Bird Goes Underground. That particular book was about a young boy who ran away from home after his papa passed, and he went on this journey to find himself, but also to stick to his truth. And so that book I read from beginning to end. It took me about 2 weeks. that's not bad because it is a children's book. It's for the ages 8 to 12. But I definitely enjoyed it because it, being that I am a person of, I like to see how people, I like to see what other children are reading so I could relate to them in those ways. And so that's what I ended up doing with that book, is to read on the level of a child that I eventually and will get the opportunity to share experience with when it comes to that particular book. There were a lot of lessons in that book too, so if you're a teacher, that's another thing. Like, you could buy the book and read it for yourself and come up with a whole lot of lessons just based on that book. I'm gonna move right along because, like I said, I don't want this video to be too long, but I definitely wanted to speak to you all about how I've been coping with this 100-day book, 100 books this year. And so it's a lot more books that I've read. I'm going to actually post it once somebody gives me the direct number of how many books I've read. I'm going to send a list of all of the books that I've read, what I'm reading now, and what's in the queue, what's going to be next for me. So lastly, like I said, some of you read the book physically, you read the book in your ears, and some of us do both. And so I said you do, I spoke on that one, but the ones that just listen, that's what I want to get to. The ones that just listen, I learned that I can't just listen and move around and be doing other things because I zone out on what I'm doing and I'm not really paying attention to what's in my ear. And sometimes we do that. We just go from active listening to just listening. You hear it, but you're not really understanding what you're hearing and things of that nature. So what I've learned that works for me, guys, and I hope that it works for you. I like this. This has definitely been one of the things that has worked for me. So one of the things I like to do is I like to paint and I like to color. And I've been trying to, incorporate those kind of things throughout my day. And it keeps stress down, but it also helps you focus. It brings a whole level of focus for me. So I think if you try it, like instead of you listening to music while you paint or whatever, find a book that you think you would be interested in and you take time out to, do something with it. So like, this is one of the books that I bought. It was only like $4, and like it has a whole bunch of coloring pages in it, but like they keep you occupied. So each picture could take you about 30 minutes to an hour. And statistics tell you you're supposed to read for 30 minutes a day and all of those other things. So this is one of the ones that I did start, and I just tried it. I tried it for 30 minutes, and this is what I got done in 30 minutes. And I know, like, that looks like a little bit, but like if you take your time and you're listening to a book, like you'll get lost in the book, but you'll also get something else, stimulus done, like something that stimulates your brain done. And so that's what works for me, guys. Like I said, I didn't want to be on here long. I just kind of wanted to tell y'all what worked for me. Once again, my name is CiaraArielle. There's still a lot more other things to come. I definitely want to continue this journey with you all on reading and being excited, igniting our reading and our education and dreams all in the same breath. So once again, guys, the challenge that I have for you all, guess the number of books that I've read so far. Drop it down below in the comments, and also drop your Cash App, and you may just be the winner. I will announce the winner tomorrow. No, tomorrow's Saturday, so Sunday at 12 p.m. I'm going to announce the winner. But throughout this time, I'll be posting other things that you could see and be a part of. I love y'all. Bye-bye.